What's the most disturbing piece of audio there is? Jim Jones talking into a microphone while his followers poison their children. The 911 call of the woman whose chimp was eating her friend's face. The 911 call of the lady stuck in her car in a flood and the operator is so unhelpful. She ends up drowning on the other end of the phone. This one is accompanied by video. But the reaction of a man whose wife gets killed when a brick flies off the back of a truck they were driving behind on a highway and came through their windshield. The audio was captured by their dashcam. One of those things you can't unhear. That 911 call from the guy trapped in one of the Twin Towers. I'd venture that the Toolbox Killer's audio recording of them torturing and raping Shirley Ledford is probably pretty high up on the list. It has never been released to the public. Or leaked. But there does exist the full transcript online. The 911 call of Loretta Pickard. A disabled elderly woman who died in a house fire. She was physically unable to get out of the house on her own. There were firefighters outside her house. But due to a miscommunication, they thought the house was empty. On the call, you hear the woman talking as the fire gets worse and she gets closer to death. Jared from Subway talking about how he likes kids who come from bad homes because they are easier to manipulate into having sex. Don't listen to it. The woman who helped build the case against Jared from Subway by recording him talking about his enjoyment of pedophilia. Listening to a couple minutes of him describing what he's done made me want to vomit. The process of getting this stuff on tape wrecked the woman's mental health. And it's easy to see why. The weepy-voiced killer. He killed women, completely mutilated them and proceeded to call the police while crying about what happened and how he can't stop himself. Then he'd hang up and do it again. The 911 call from one of the teachers present at the Columbine school shooting. You can hear the gunshots and the gunmen cheering and whooping. You also hear when they enter the library, which is where they killed the most students. It's chilling. The 911 call from the attack of Travis the chimpanzee. Travis's screams can be heard in the background at the start of the tape as Harold, owner of Travis, pleads for the police. Who initially believed the call to be a hoax until she said, "He's eating her." The cult leader from the documentary Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey, where he records his rape of a young girl in his secret room in which only the most devout followers are allowed. It's haunting. The Apollo 1 crew. I'm sure others have mentioned it. But one that really, truly upset me was when a poor delivery lady had mistakenly driven into floodwaters. She called 911 and the dispatcher was cruel beyond words. I'll never forget it. A 911 call of a little girl who had just found her brother in his room after he committed suicide. The most heartbreaking part is when she screams, "Why did you do it?" For me personally, it's audio and video. It's a grandmother who killed her son-in-law. And for some reason the police bring in the woman's young granddaughter, daughter of the victim. And the grandmother is insane and asks for a hug and the little girl screams, "No, you killed me, Daddy." I honestly have no idea why the police brought in the girl. It's horrible. The Ruth Price 911 call where she's this old woman living alone in her apartment when some stranger keeps trying to get in. He eventually does and then she can be heard screaming for her life. I think he was stabbing her. Fortunately, she survived and lived another 14 years. Pretty sure it was used to train dispatch in the past for how horrific the audio is. Me. Frustrated that no one is posting links. Also me. Glad that no one is posting links. Probably the audio of Timothy Treadwell and his girlfriend getting eaten by bears. Edit. I never said that I heard that audio. I only watched Werner Herzog listen to it. The question was what's the most disturbing piece of audio that exists? Not what's the most disturbing piece of audio that you heard. The voicemail my stepfather left my mom the morning of 9/11. He worked on the 99th floor. And called to tell us he was okay. And was making his way down the stairs. He said he would call us again when he was outside. He never did. In the call, you can hear him telling others to keep their heads down. Out of the smoke. But what really makes the audio as disturbing as it is the screaming. The screams in the background are some of the most bone-chillingly real terror I think I've ever heard. The video that came out a few years ago in Pennsylvania, I believe. Two neighbors were arguing over snow removal or something petty. Sounds like it had been going on for some time. Neighbor shoots the female in the street. Then goes inside and gets a rifle. As he approaches her lying there in the street, the audio picks up him mentioning, "Next time you'll keep your fucking mouth shut," and then shoots her point blank in the middle of the street. I've heard a lot of nasty stuff on Reddit. But that audio will live with me forever as a testament of the evil humans are capable of. I can't remember which podcasts. But I think it was a psychology, brain science one. There was this girl who was being recorded in surgery for deep brain stimulation to treat her depression. She had completely debilitating depression her life. Just felt like utter garbage every moment of every day. Anyway, they needed to try to find the part of her brain they could stimulate to make her feel better. They'd stimulate one spot, ask for her reaction, and then stimulate a nearby spot. Anyway, they hit the right spot and suddenly she felt okay for the first time in her life. Then the surgeon changed something. And you could hear in her voice like she was being sent back to hell. She said something like, "No. Not there. That's the wrong spot. That's horrible," and the surgeon said I didn't move the probe to a new spot. I turned it off. She thought some new part of her brain was being stimulated and it was causing her to feel incredibly bad. But that wasn't what happened. The stimulator was stopped and she had returned to the same state she'd been in her whole life after a moment of escape from it. Edit. It was an episode of Invisibilia. This is a minor one. But it messed with me. It was a UFO documentary on TV in about 1995. There's a bit where the woman being abducted puts out a tape recorder in her room all night and captures a male voice saying, "Don't wake up." So that, in itself, was really scary. But all I could think of was that this was a rape about to happen. And the poor woman was using UFO stuff as a cover to protect her sanity. And that just rocked me. And if someone in law enforcement heard it, wouldn't they feel the same? The whole thing was just hard to process. By all accounts, it's the Norris and Bittaker tapes. Otherwise known as the Toolbox Killers. I've seen a transcript. Deeply unpleasant stuff. I'd imagine the tape of 10-year-old Leslie Ann Downey's rape and murder made by the Moores murderers would be a contender. It's never been released, thankfully, though I've seen plenty of interviews with the policemen who had to listen to tape and you can just see on their faces how much it affected them. The 911 call Jennifer Pan made after she hired people to try and kill her parents. At one point her surviving father starts shouting and yelling in the background. This is after he had been shot multiple times. I think one of which may have been to his head or neck. When I tell you that I can still hear her father's screams, I mean it. It might not be the worst thing on here, but it's fucking harrowing. There is a phone call tape in The Fog of War where President Johnson tells Robert McNamara that he kept his mouth shut as Kennedy tried to de-escalate the Vietnam conflict, and now that he's president he wanted McNamara to build a plan to reverse that strategy and get results. As that decision led to my father fighting there and coming back as a man changed for the worse. I'll say that was my most disturbing audio. Edit. Here is the link to the clip from the movie. The audio of the huge dairy farm that caught fire in Texas is fucking haunting. 18,000 cows crammed into a warehouse and burning alive. Accompanied by video. But a lot of the school children who drowned on the MV Saywal recorded short video clips as the ship was sinking. Hearing the crew telling the students over loudspeaker to stay in place and stay on board is absolutely chilling. The children make snide remarks about how crazy it is to stay on board with the ship listing so far. But they remain in place. The one where these two teens go into this guy's basement and without them knowing he's waiting down there with his gun and shoots both of them and can hear the guy say something right before he shoots girl as she's trying to go back up the stairs. I can't remember all what happened, but that was pretty chilling. Maybe someone here knows what I'm talking about. That girl who called her mom as she was being eaten by a bear. Edit. The girl's name was Olga Moskalova. A few people have said it was a hoax, however I have been unable to find any evidence that it is. In fact, a hoax. Although hopefully it was. No one should die like that and no one should hear their child die like that. Since other people are mentioning videos with horrible audio. That one of the nightclub burning down. The sounds of people screaming trying to get out of the crush and then burning to death is just awful. The guy whose scuba kit fucked up and he sunk a few hundred feet and couldn't rise again, and you could just hear the muffled screaming noises under his mask. Edit. He died on the bottom of the sea and his kit was recovered with the audio and body a while after. Source for those interested. There's audio of an astronaut burning up in the atmosphere. I don't recall if it was an American mission or a Russian one. There is a video of a man and his wife, child riding in a car on the highway. They are behind a truck carrying bricks. Something falls off the truck and goes straight through the windshield on the passenger side. I haven't seen it in a long time. But you cannot see what's going on. I believe the brick rips the camera off. But there is a brief pause while the shock wears off and you just hear the worst scream from the husband and the child is crying. The Golden State Killer phone tapes where he calls his victims for years after the crimes to taunt them always gives me chills. There is an audio recording of the torture and murder of a woman by the serial killer Lawrence Bittaker, the toolbox killer, that is used by the FBI to desensitize agents to the realities of their work. It was played in court at his trial and apparently is heart-rending. The woman is begging for her life. You can hear her bones being broken by the hammer he was using. And him laughing. Recording of Warren Jeffs, leader of the FLDS, during a ceremony with some of his many wives, including sex with a newly married 12-year-old bride. Prophet's Prey documentary goes into the whole FLDS cult and is very disturbing. One I haven't seen mentioned. I remember videos of phones ringing like crazy around victims after the Pulse nightclub shooting and the Vegas shooting. Perhaps not the worst, but still haunting. The Mayday call from MS Estonia and the following radio traffic at sea. After the first couple of conversations, Estonia is quiet. The first ship reaches the destination less than 20 minutes later. But the Estonia is just gone. Warren Jeffs, of the Fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints, tape recorded himself raping a 12-year-old. The most disturbing audio I've heard. For me it's Alessandro Moreschi the Last Castrato singing Ave Maria. For those who don't know, castrato was a type of voice only belonged to children who were castrated before puberty. The parents of the children usually did this to preserve the children's high voices so they can keep singing and make them money. There's an audio of Alessandro singing Ave Maria on YouTube. The voice is very eerie because this voice came from a man who's also a boy and he was also around his 40s or 50s when it was recorded. The comment that I saw under the video that stuck with me said something like his voice is in between a child's and a woman's voice. Americans won't know this. But here in Brazil there's a criminal called Fernandinho Beira-Mar. This guy was the head of the Comando Vermelho, or Red Command, the narco ring that rules Rio de Janeiro. You can read up on him. He was a mastermind of crime. Extremely intelligent man but also absolutely cruel and ruthless. In 1999, a 21-year-old student called Michelle Anderson had an affair with one of Beira-Mar's girlfriends. Michelle had one date with the girl. Right after securing his first job as an assistant in IT. Beira-Mar ordered his execution. Michelle was tortured for 1 hour. After that, Beira-Mar called him. The call was taped, as police was onto Beira-Mar. But they never expected to hear this. If you are sensitive for this kind of thing, know this. Not safe for life. BM is Beira-Mar. MA is Michelle and T is the guy who was torturing Michelle. BM. Hello. What's up, dude? T. Hey. Master. How are you? BM. All fine. T. He has already eaten his other ear. BM. He ate both? T. Yeah. BM. Well, let me talk a bit with him. T. Okay. He gets a bit away from the phone and talks to Michelle. Talk to him. Man. BM. Hey man. How you doing? MA. Sobbing. I'm all cut. Both ears gone. Both feet gone. My fingers are hanging. My right ear they took completely off. I can't hear. I hear just a noise. The left ear they took just a piece. Because if they took it off I wouldn't hear you. His voice is cackling. BM. But you are still talking. MA. Because I'm hearing. But just a bit. BM. Hearing well? MA. No. Please, sobbing, speak louder. BM. Keep talking. You're doing well. MA. They took it all off. Everything is hanging in front of me. I have only my heel. BM. Oh. Wow. What about your pretty fingers? M.A. Pretty fingers all hanging. B.M. Were the ears tasty? M.A. The ears are too big. They entered my mouth. I almost swallowed it. B.M. Oh really? All that for pussy. Huh. Man? Damn. That fucking pussy. Right? Expensive ass pussy. Right bro? M.A. If I knew, I wouldn't get involved. B.M. Really? Damn. M.A. I'm talking from my heart. Sir. I can't walk. They tried to make me walk. But I can't. I can do 3 steps. But my legs hurt so much. Everything hurts. Beira Mar then mocks the boy. And gives him hope that he would get away from that torture session. The boy's will to live made him believe the false promise. B.M. But okay. You're talking a lot. M.A. It's because. Hey. It feels like they made a truck run over me. They broke my ribs. B.M. No. I won't let them do this to you. The ribs must stay together. Now when you go home. Because I will call a cab to take you home. I will call a taxi and it will take you to. Well. Where do you want? Dookie, a hospital, or to go direct to your home? M.A. Mr. Fernando. Just call a taxi to tell my mom. Please. B.M. Oh. Okay. I will call a taxi to take you to Dookie. Then the same taxi will go to your family's home. Okay? ... You are quite the stallion. Huh? M.A. No. No sir. B.M. What a nice pussy. Huh. That damn pussy. Huh? M.A. Talk louder. I can't hear you because of the blood running down. B.M. Come here. What a damn pussy. Huh? M.A. Yeah. Beira Mar then asks to talk with his right-hand man. Called Bomba, or Bomb. He certifies him that Michelle ain't doing well. Bomba. What's up, boss? B.M. Man. But he is reacting. Huh? Talkin' a lot. Right? Bomba. He is strong. Right? B.M. Acting all tough. Right? Bomba. No. He is humble now. Pretty humble. He's over here. Pretty shy. Pretty fucking shy. B.M. Now he's humble. Bomba. All humble. All shy. Not fucking around. B.M. But beat him a little bit more. A nice little beating. Then I'll call again. Beat him. Just to finish it. Then I'll call back later. Okay? It wasn't enough that the student was suffering from the torture. Beira Mar liked to mock his condition. Even by phone. He would make a fuss to prove he was in charge. Beira Mar told Bomba to pass the phone to Michelle. Again. He wanted that one of his friends. Jose Ayutun, ya, who was by his side in a farm in Paraguay. Could also talk and mock the boy. B.M. Talk to my friend here. Tell him how you're doing. My friend is a doctor and he will give you a receipt. M.A. Please, sobbing. Talk louder. Ya. Hey. Comrade. M.A. I can't really hear you well. Ya. Oh. Yeah. M.A. The blood doesn't let me hear you. Ya. Oh. I will tell them to clear your ear. How are things going there? M.A. I don't have my ears. I have only my heels. Feels like a truck ran over me. Ya. Sometimes we go somewhere to fuck and end up getting fucked. Right? But alright. Jose passes the phone to Beira Mar so he can talk to Bomba. B.M. Does he still have his fingers? Bomba. No. He doesn't have anything. He has nothing. Nothing. Even that thing that holds your feet forwards. He doesn't have. It's flat. Like a front leg. There's nothing left. B.M. Okay. Beat him a little bit more that in 10 minutes I'll call you again to see what we'll do. Go slowly. I don't want things rushed. Okay? Then. There's the second tape. T. Hey. Boss. B.M. Let me talk to my associate. Michelle. T. He doesn't have hands anymore. Boss. B.M. No hands and still talking? T. No hands. No ears. No feet. Talk to him. B.M. Hey. What's up? M.A. I'm broken. B.M. All broken? But you're the hot guy. What a damn pussy. Huh? How many times did you fuck her till today? M.A. Just that one. I never saw her again. B.M. No. How many in total? Since it started. How many times did you go out with her? M.A. Just once. Then she, inaudible. B.M. Wow. Just once? Liar. You told before that you went out 3 times. Now you are saying it was only once. M.A. 3 times that she went to my house. B.M. Oh. You are still acting. Fuck. Holy shit dude. Are you hurting? MA. I don't feel a thing. BM. Nothing? MA. Number. BM. Number? Damn. Well. I will have you taken to Dookie now. I will call the cab to Dookie. Alright? MA. Okay. BM. I will tell the boys to call the taxi so you can go to Dookie. Let me talk to Bomba. MA. Gamba. You. BM. You can do it now. 5 shots are heard. Alongside laughs. Bomba. Hey. BM. Just make him vanish. Michelle's body was never found. Bear Amar got 30 years for this crime. This was the only crime he got caught for. The audio is available in Portuguese. Edit. Bear Amar got more than 120 years in prison in 2002 for other crimes too. He currently is in a maximum surveillance prison. Also, I edited some things for grammar. The sound of children screaming has been removed. David Parker Ray's tapes. Owen Hart was a WWE wrestler who died during an entrance on a live pay-per-view. His harness he came down to the ring unsnapped. There's one clip of it that exists in any public forum. And it's an audio recording from the Spanish announcer table where you can hear nothing but a sickening, crunchy thump as he hits the ring. Supposedly, the original video recording of the incident is locked deep away, with instructions to never watch or open printed on it. Not really a tape but the video of the 2023 shark attack in Egypt. Hearing the guy being eaten alive while screaming "Dad" was terrifying. The mom screaming her heart out when she walks in on her son who just blasted his face off with a shotgun. It's from the 4chan kid's suicide video years ago. Yeah, the gore was pretty intense. But it was so quick you don't really process it. Then his mom comes home with his little sisters and it's the worst piece of audio I have heard. Fucked me up for a good while and got me to stop being so morbidly curious because there are some things we just shouldn't see or hear willingly. The sound of the mason jar collapsing inside that guy's anus. As an elder statesperson of the internet age, I warn you, don't go looking for it. You have been warned. Not disturbing to me, but to most people. Radio traffic between crashing airliner and the tower. Pilots were pros all the way down. No screaming. No panic. Just doing everything they could to save people. When it was obvious they were going to crash, they aimed for a spot where most of the passengers would live. But the cockpit was going to be destroyed. Last words from the pilot was something like, "Roger that. Thank you for your assistance. Sorry. But it's been a few decades. So I can't remember more details." The brick video. That shit made me cry. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.